Welcome to Season 4 of the Knack for Business podcast.
Before we get into today's conversation, Canada Growth Network. Here's the math. A full CRM, email marketing, funnels, and automations for less than a coffee a day. That's $47 a month Canadian with a $1 trial to start. If you're building a business and still duct taping tools together, check the link in the show notes.
Tell you a little bit about myself first. 30 years in B2B selling, and started as a musician, wanted to be a rock star, and that did not pan out. Transitioned to video production and interactive video, where I eventually owned my own production studio down in beautiful Vancouver here, British Columbia, and then sold everything, moved to the beautiful Okanagan Valley, where I currently live in Lake Country, near a couple of lakes, 5-minute drive down to the lake and a mountain right outside my door. And when I'm not working, I'm out either enjoying the Okanagan with my family or playing outside. I love trail running, hiking, paddleboarding, kayaking, and snowshoeing. All the seasons represented there. And I'm also a lifelong student of continuous improvement in all things. So that includes health, fitness, family, business career, and business tools, which I'll be talking about today. A little bit about Cheeky Monkey. So company started off in 2008, designing and developing websites. We also worked for a few large international agencies quietly in the background, building massive enterprise level websites for their clients. And as we were doing all of this work, we started hearing more and more. We started hearing sort of two things. One, just a general complaint that, clients were watching after they'd done a website design or redesign project. Clients had been watching as their organic traffic, engagement, and conversions were quietly dropping over time until they couldn't stand it anymore and had to address the issue, most likely traditionally through a website redesign project. And then the other thing we heard was, normally clients will want to talk to 2 or 3 agencies before they make a decision. So in talking to these potential clients, just a notice of a general lack of excitement around the fact that they were going to have to do a website redesign project. Some of them fairly large projects, 6 months to a year, and getting organized. Perhaps it's an RFP. All of those things, projects anywhere from $30,000 to $300,000, and then, just they thought they were expensive. They thought they were extremely stressful, and they ended up with a poor website experience or something that wasn't technically sound, and generally poor results. And so they're just wondering, why they're having to go through this experience again, and looking for a reason not to. So after hearing this a few times, we started offering a service where organic traffic, engagement, and conversion can actually increase over time, and that a website redesign isn't necessary. And why would it be? Because the website's constantly evolving and delivering great results. So that's been while a number of agencies sort of focus on website design and development and marketing, and sort of treat support as an afterthought, Cheeky Monkey Media actually focuses on website marketing and support. We still do website design and development, but we'd much prefer to take your good website and your marketing, adopt that into our system, and start moving towards generating better results for our clients. So how did we get here? Well, traditionally, businesses have treated websites like a checkbox. I've got to get my logo done. I've got to get my business cards done. I got to get the brochure done, and I have to get the website done. And I've got those things done. Good. Now it's just on to doing business. And they just expect those things similar to a logo or a business card or a brochure. They just expect those things to work for years until, they need to be looked at and addressed again. But I think businesses and organizations have to wrap their head around the fact that that business and the internet has changed. The movie, The Field of Dreams, Kevin Costner. If you build it, they will come. And there was a time, I'm really dating myself here, there was a time when you could build a website and they would come because there wasn't many of them out there. And if you had a pretty unique experience, you could attract a lot of attention because you were pushing the medium forward. But today, there's so much noise. There's so much happening out there on the web, and there's so much more that our websites can do for us. Our websites can now be our best salesperson for our businesses. They can be our best fundraiser for our nonprofits. They can be our best enrollment specialists for our higher education, universities, colleges, that sort of thing. I mean, the list goes on and on. The website is a 24/7 nonstop. Point me in the direction of where I need to go and what I need to do, and I will do that for you forever, right? And they can be the best performing business tool, perhaps outperforming some of our best people in our organizations and our businesses. And that's where we are today with the internet, and it's constantly evolving. So we've left our websites over time, and two things are happening. One, just software and content management systems being constantly adding things to our websites, weighing them down, slowing them down, maybe filing them in not the best way possible, and making them difficult to find on our websites. Maybe not doing things in the most accessible way. So all of these things causing security issues, or maybe older software that has vulnerabilities. All of these things are causing issues in our website that are, one, affecting the user experience, and two, search engines like Google are able to see these issues now, and they've included them as part of their algorithm. So it's hurting your marketing and exposure. So I call these things hidden taxes. They're speed taxes, accessibility tax, SEO tax, all of these things, these taxes tend to pile up. And in addition to that, we as users have evolving expectations. There was a time when, I mean, you all look young, but myself here, I'm a little older, and I was actually around when dial-up was a thing. And if a website loaded in 10 minutes, I'd probably be happy with that back in the day. But now, we get a little frustrated if it takes 10 seconds for a website to load. And Google actually measures the appropriate speed in which a website loads in this day and age at 2.5 seconds. So if on a mobile device, not a desktop, but on mobile. Mobile's always lagged a little bit behind our desktop experience. So, they probably want a 1 second load time for mobile, but they're a little more generous, and they'll wait 2.5 seconds for a website to load. If we're starting to quantify taxes that we're paying, it's for every second over that 2.5 second threshold for mobile devices, you can expect a 7% hit on conversions. But our expectations are constantly evolving. So, we launch a website even today, and we say, great, we're meeting the widely held expectations of 2.5 seconds for mobile devices on our website. Well, 5 years from now, that expectation may be 1 second. And not only is our website still set up for 2.5 seconds, but we've loaded a ton of stuff on there, and that's potentially slowing the website down. So now it may be 5 seconds. It may be 7 seconds or 10 seconds. And so all of these things are causing stress for users and costing us exposure on the search engines. So we look at all of these things, and we apply marketing to the websites as well to help with exposure. And we have some clients that have been working with us for the past 15 years with our programs as we've been developing them. And I actually, prior to this presentation, I went through all of our clients, and just to make sure that what I was saying was actually true, because things are always changing. And all of our clients that subscribe to our model of support have consistently seen an increase in organic traffic. They've consistently seen a increase in target audience engagement on their websites. They have consistently seen an increase in conversions, and they have not done a website redesign. Their websites may look different from the 15 years that they were launched. When you're doing evolving changes, iterative changes to a website, things change, and there's little design tweaks that happen as well. So if you take a snapshot of that website 15 years ago and a snapshot of it now, it would probably look completely different. But they never had to go through a full-scale website redesign. It was a tiny little thing that they thought they would test or try out, or they thought that users would appreciate, and they tested it out on that website, and they did more, and they did more, as well as ensuring things were organized, things were speeding up, and accessibility was front and center. All of these things, as expectations change, you continue to stay aligned with them. You're continuing to stay aligned with your marketing. You're continuing to stay aligned with your branding. All of these things are important and are addressed under a continuous improvement model. So those are things that we're doing, that we've seen. How do businesses even know that that we have people working on our websites? They're technical things, and data is everywhere around our websites. And for the people who know, it can be easily accessible and understood, and it can be translated from geek speak to normal speak for us business folks, so that we can understand it. But we're not in control. We're getting that information secondhand from the people that are in the weeds for us, right? So where does coming off, you've received this information, you want to learn more, and how do I know if my website is performing well and it's not negatively impacting my marketing efforts? I like to use a free tool from Google called pagespeed.web.dev. You just type that into the URL, you copy and paste your URL into the bar there, and you hit run, and within 30 seconds, it tells you not only the core web vitals, the health and performance of your website, but it gives you an understanding of what Google thinks of that website, and how you start to understand how Google treats it in the search results when people are looking for your product or service. And so you can, and it's easy to understand. And not only that, but it gives you a list of things that you can address and fix on your website in order to improve those core web vitals. As I said, it's an easy, accessible, free tool that all sort of business folks that are curious to know if their website is doing its job can quickly and easily access. And then you can get some things fixed, and you can go back to that tool to see if there's any improvements. Barring that, yes, we can still continue to get reports from the people that are working on our websites and our marketing, but this is a quick and easy way for us to making sure that we're keeping them honest. And so I think it's a good tool for folks to use. So I would recommend a tool like that. I would suggest that continuous improvement, anything that we do on our website, whether it's the list that the pagespeed.web.dev gives you, that information, or information that's recommended to you, any improvement that you spend on your website, you tie that in with marketing, you can see a 1 to 1 to 100x return on investment for that $1 investment. So it's good money to be spent, and a good thing to do, especially when it's tied with marketing.
Everything you heard today is for educational purposes only. It's not professional advice. Before you act on anything, talk to a certified expert in your area. Your accountant, your lawyer, someone who knows your situation. We share perspectives. You make the decisions. Want more? Head over to blog.knack4business.com, packed with practical episodes on AI, marketing, leadership, and growth. No fluff, just the good stuff. Subscribe while you're there. Until next time, keep building.